Welcome back to the MVP podcast, the people show where we talk about the most valuable players in the sporting world. My name is B-Man. I'm here with Danny. I'm here with Naeem. Mandem, how you doing?
It's all good. I'd like to
Yeah.
apologize first and foremost for the rough appearance. I'm actually in the middle of a run and was stopped because of some important emergency news that we had to record. So please, down below in the comments, don't attack my hairline or don't tell me I need a haircut because I know.
So do I apologize for the sharp appearance then or not?
Shut up.
Yeah, you look fresh though still. You look fresh.
No, you don't. You cheat on your barber.
Anyway, guys, we've literally dropped everything that we're doing. So clearly you could tell that Danny's outside. Naeem is still in his car. Like we're doing this off the cuff, right? So there was some news that got released yesterday regarding a meeting amongst the NBA players. And it was stated that Kyrie was going to bring up the fact that he didn't want the league to get restarted because of all the social injustices that have been happening in America. So now they've had the meeting now, and it's come out that Kyrie Irving has said it, and that there have been a group of people that have agreed with him, but then there have been a group of people that have not agreed with him. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, Danny, do you want to input on this?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he was well in his rights to say what he said, and I actually have found a high level of respect for him for standing up and saying that. He literally said that, he'd risk it all to stop the systematic racism. What was the word he used? Systemic racism. So for someone to come out, who's got pretty much everything, he's got a nice contract, he plays for a decent enough team, and he is a very famous NBA star. I've got a hell of a lot of respect for him, and I think that when the NBA does kick back in, I think that naturally a lot of people's attention will be diverted towards the NBA, and especially when the playoffs do kick in. And I think that, it is sad to say, but it could have an impact on the wonderful and the magnificent protest and the energy that people are putting into these protests.
He's not the only one who's got these views as well. On that call that you mentioned, but like there's Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Donovan Mitchell also feel a similar way. They might stand up with him as well. My biggest concern with all of this is that I don't want this to be Kaepernick 2.0. I don't want this to take 3-4 years for people to, kind of get to the stage. I don't want what's happened over the last, few months, the last few years to kind of lead to this and then again. And the biggest concern, obviously, is that when the NBA does return, people's attention is going to divert to the NBA because that's going to be the fun thing. That's going to be something that's been missing for the last few years. So I think that's what he's trying to allude to is that, people are going to go back to normal life. People are going to go back to some form of routine and normality. As soon as the NBA kicks in, you kind of go away from all that hard work that's been put in. So I agree with him. I stand with him. I think he's absolutely spot on. There's bigger things than sports right now. This perfect. Pandemic, for example.
Yeah, it's perfect though, isn't it? It's perfect because the reality of the matter is that they have a bigger platform in order to reach those people. So even if you say, like you said, people get distracted, you have got people like Kyrie Irving that can then go on social media and go on to millions of people just to say, don't forget what we've been trying to do. Look at what we've done this time round. Yeah? Forget about everything else that's happened. So look at what we've done this time around. We've got the whole world to join us in this protest.
Yeah.
Why are we stopping right now? Right? So, and I love it, man. I love it. But the only concern is obviously is from where we see it now is the finance side of it. Financially, can the NBA cope with not restarting? And the reality of the matter is it's probably not. And the people that are most likely going to get affected the most are the players because their finances are going to drop. And they could drop significantly because even with this break that they've had now because of the coronavirus, that is going to affect their income for next year. They're even talking about setting up a new CBA because of the whole coronavirus situation. Because let's be honest, they would not be able to afford these contracts anymore based on all the money that they've lost out. Not just because of they have had to stop. And there'll be some people that say, but it's restarting again. But yes, but gate receipt is a massive, massive thing. It's a massive thing. And that factors into how much the players get paid on a yearly basis. So it is like, which way do you go? From Kyrie's perspective anyway, do I go for my money or do I go for, the social injustices? Do I help my people?
That's why you got to respect him more, because
Mhm.
that's what he's doing. He's going towards his social injustices, and those kind of people that do that kind of stuff and they sacrifice things for the greater humanity, they eventually become the goats, the Muhammad Ali's, and you know what I mean,
Exactly.
kind of stuff.
And that's the thing,
Yeah,
though, isn't
exactly.
it? Sorry, Naeem. Go on.
No, I was going to say, I think, I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not already, but I don't want this to be Kaepernick 2.0.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing for me. Well, everything that Muhammad Ali sacrificed and, the people after him, I don't want it to be another one of those where, people just kind of overlook it. And I think economics is a big part of it. When you've got a president that is more interested in reopening the economy rather than saving lives and looking after the welfare of human beings, that says it all. I don't want to digress too far into that politics, but that says it all.
Yeah.
That's what Adam Silver, to his credit, has said no player has to come back. Dana White said no fighter has to fight in the UFC. The Premier League said no player has to take part. So these leagues have said you don't have to do if you don't want to. But is the things going on behind the scenes? I don't know.
Exactly.
Sounds like the saving face with that
Yeah, I
statement.
think so. I think there are some consequences that might probably come if you decide
Yeah,
not
financial
to. I'm sure there
penalties
is.
or
But
blacklisting maybe.
do you
Blacklisted,
know?
especially.
I am what irritated me the most, and if I'm being real honest, the person that disappointed me the most was LeBron James. Now, obviously, I don't know exactly what happened in this phone call, right? There's 200 people in this Zoom call. We weren't
LeBron
there.
wasn't on it, by the way. I don't know if you
Oh,
knew this or not. LeBron
is it?
wasn't on the call.
Oh,
No,
wow. So that makes that irritates me even more, actually, right? But LeBron has said, look, he's been vocal about restarting the league from the get-go. And he
Yeah.
said, look, I can play both basketball and I can focus on the social injustices, which is fine. He can do. He's got a lot more free time than a lot of people do. But the reality of the matter is the people that are leading the protests are your regular Joes. These are your workers. These are your people that are at the bottom of the pyramid. Those are the people that can affect change. So then for LeBron to turn around and say, well, I can do both. Yeah, but you are going to distract the people that are actually going to make a difference. The people around the world that are going to make a difference. Instead, you have now pushed them to watch the NBA again. They're going to start, because remember, even like in the Premier League, there's games every single day. We're not catching no breath. And then as soon as the Premier League ends, the NBA will start straight after. And that is going to come fast and furious. Because even I said, when the NBA restarts, I'm going to watch every game, blah, blah, blah. So I am a key example of someone that's going to get distracted by the NBA. And it disappointed me.
It's not just you though. I mean, I watched the latest Dave Chappelle comedy special, and it's well worth watching. He made a point that a similar situation did happen a few years ago when it was Kobe's last game and Kobe dropped 60. And effectively, there was a lot of riots going on. A lot of police were being murdered, and I don't want to get too into it, but because he scored 60, a lot of people's attention was on that. People were flicking from the NBA to the news, to the NBA to the news. And eventually, what came of it? Obviously, Kobe gripped everyone's attention, and because of him, a lot of stuff died down. So it's not just you; it's pretty much everyone, every average Joe, us is included. We love sports, so are we to blame? Could we say we need more discipline, or is it with them? It's two ways of looking at everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure what to add because I don't really know who is to blame. Who really is to blame? It's like those guys have the power to put these leagues on and stop these leagues. We watch it. If it's on, we'll watch it. If it's not on, we can't watch it. So really, the power's with them. It's not with us.
Exactly. We're just gonna do what we can. So it's a hard one. It's
heartbreaking, isn't it? It's heartbreaking.
It's the fact that you have to choose between, well, do I focus on me or do I focus on my people? And Kyrie clearly decided that he's going to focus on his people rather than
just one last question for you. You mentioned LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron, it's not about money for him because he's a billionaire unofficially.
He's minted. Yeah,
so it's not about money for him.
Yeah.
So why do you think that LeBron's decided to carry on with the league and he says he can do both? Do you think it's because he can do both, or do you think there's something else?
No. He in particular, he can do both. He can go on social media and post everything, and he can play basketball. He can train. He can, but I think he's forgetting the wider context. I think that is just within his own bubble. But
Okay.
what Kyrie,
And he loves the game. He loves
yeah,
the game too.
yeah,
Let's be honest.
clearly, yeah. But Kyrie's Irving's bubble was a lot bigger. It encompassed everything. It technically encompassed the whole world. But let's stop it there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to do a Sosa. If you like the video, please like the video. And we'll be back again soon.
Could you also like the video so I can get money to get a haircut, please?
Take care, guys.
Peace.